Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the L14 Division 4 Grand Final. This match tonight will be played between auRa and Pregame Tryhards. The stream is brought to you by Brodogs. I'm Fozzlm, and co-casting with me tonight is Fear.
Hey Fozzlm, I'm looking forward to a great game tonight. Haven't been keeping up much with Div 4 this season, but I've heard good things about both of these two teams, so hopefully we get a good game out of it.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a bit of inside scoop from one of the other Div 4 players this season in Oxy into sort of an insight into both teams, so yeah, definitely should be a good game. I think there's a bit of roster issues going on with both teams. I think both teams are missing their medic or have some issues with medic in one capacity or another, but we'll see how much that affects the outcome of this match.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be really sort of scrimmy if they're missing key players like a medic, but at the same time, you know, these guys should have been able to work with it. I imagine they've had at least a couple of scrims to get used to the medic situation, and I'm really hopeful that we're going to have like a clean game, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's exactly what we want to see. Okay, starting off, I guess I'll run through the auRa roster, seeing as they seeded first this season, I believe undefeated, or possibly with only one draw earlier in the round. So they've got Sketch and Shadow on Scout, Zumoj and Zejo FX on Soldier, Bona on Demo, and Evil Peanut on Medic.
Yep. And on Pregame Tryhards, we have Zifshot and Morph on Scouts. We have Mixed Cats, I think, on Roma, Hyperion, it's a great reference there, on Pocket, Kruz on Demo, and Muppet, who's the Merc for Pregame Tryhards at this stage. Is that Kruz the Kruz of notable sort of reputation?
Yes, it is. I believe he's been playing like Div 4, Div 5 the past few seasons. Yeah, he was Div 5 last season with his team, and now Div 4 this season with Tryhards. So playing with a lot of the newer players, getting them up to scratch, I guess. Slight intermission with the Pregame Tryhards roster. I believe they have CK God on Medic tonight.
Oh, and that's a different player from CKM.
Yes, we apparently have multiple CKs in this community.
Because there's C-Cop as well, so there's plenty. They've got more than enough to go around.
Definitely, but CK God will be who we're focusing on tonight.
Yeah. Alright, and so we're going to see, I think Kruz will be an interesting player to watch in tonight's game. Obviously, he's been around the community for a number of years. Like, I played my very first scrim against him way back when and managed to lose, I think, 17-0 or something ridiculous.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how that sort of experience that not a lot of these players would have will translate into their team play. Because I imagine he will be the player doing the main calling. I could be completely wrong about that, but it would make sense to me. And we might see sort of a different style coming out from him. But either way, do we know which team finished on top in the regular season?
Yes, auRa finished top, and they did have one tie during the regular season.
One tie? With each other?
No, auRa's tie was in the second week against Wheelchair Warriors, who I believe finished third. Pregame Tryhards lost their only match in the season against auRa. It was, I believe, 2-6 and 2-3. I don't know the info on the map, sadly.
Yeah, well, that seems like a fairly close game, and I'm starting to get really excited about the prospects of what we're going to see tonight. Just glancing my eyes down the rosters, it looks like both teams have like fairly solid soldiers. I'm not too sure about some of the scouts, but I think Ziff, he's on sniper at the moment, but I think he's quite a reasonable scout.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry.
This game could end up being like it could be go to 3 maps. Obviously, it's a finals game, and the maps for tonight are the Gran, Gully, and Sunshine. So we have 2 maps which generally tend to favour soldiers, soldiers and demos, I suppose, on Granary and Gully Wash, with not a lot of work to be done by the scouts. Well, obviously relative to other maps, scouts are pretty good class, but and on Sunshine, we might see a bit more of a free-flowing game. Do you have any intel on which of the teams would be more sort of combo-centric?
I'd probably give that over to auRa. I believe, assuming I'm not wrong, ZJFX, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm sorry if I'm getting this all wrong. I believe he does a lot of work for that team.
Yep.
Along with Zoomodge. So yeah, I think definitely the both soldiers on auRa are definitely like players to watch. Given this team, so I would probably favor the the combo play overall, more so to auRa than Tryhards.
Yeah, and that's another part where the medics will start to come into factor into the picture a bit more, because obviously, you're playing ground and gully wash maps where they can, really hinge on one or probably both of your combo players having a really big game, and that can be enough to win you the map. But having a medic who's only played with you for a few days compared to someone who's been there for the whole season, obviously we'd hope that they're able to put on like a good enough performance, but you've got to wonder whether it's going to be enough to turn the tide.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. It's definitely interesting to see what will happen with this game. Mainly, yeah, just because of the fact that both teams had sort of medic issues. I believe with Tryhards, there was an issue with Seeker. I think he actually played with them during the regular season and then couldn't play for the finals, and I think is now back, if knowledge serves me right. So maybe that'll give them a slight edge in the fact that he's at least had more prior experience than I believe Evil Peanut has with auRa.
Yep. And just looking at warm-up, I'm seeing Slam Punk with the Quickie Launcher, I think that is. And that's an interesting weapon. It got used a bit when it first came out, but I haven't seen many of the demos in Prem using it this season. And it sort of favors a bit of a different style than the normal medigun, but we have no way of knowing whether you'll actually use it in the game, so it's kind of pointless trying to analyze it.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's the point of having a pre-game tryhard team, so we can analyze their pre-game.
Exactly. Actually, on the matter of that, I believe we can be fairly confident that he will continue running the Quickie Bomb Launcher throughout the match, as Oxy has given me the inside scoop that he has done it all season, and I don't think has switched off a single time.
Oh.
So we're possibly going to be seeing a perma Quickie Bomb Launcher, which is exciting as hell, because I haven't actually seen that weapon used too much, except for obviously pushing last like Badlands.
Yeah. Well, I just wonder how he manages to get to practice it without people leaving on him.
Yeah. It's
anyway.
Yeah, definitely has its questionable aspects of the weapon. I believe both teams should be good to go any second now, given STV chat, what I'm hearing.
Yeah, well, we're ready to start whenever the game goes. So we're going to see it's granary middle. I'd expect maybe a testing the waters rollout from both teams, given the fact that their regular season game was so close. So maybe a bottom left demo on Cat, but at the same time, like a lot of teams try to throw their opponent off on the first rollout by either running a double soldier out of garage or a double scout demo from Catwalk, or even a combo from Catwalk, which could be really interesting things to look at this mid.
Yeah, definitely. I personally really enjoy playing combo on Catwalk, but that does lead to the mid playing it can lead to the mid playing a bit odd if you let sort of the opposition roamer just sort of get free on left side and walk around, and he can completely screw you up. But yeah, definitely I think you're right. This first rollout, I won't expect any sort of major plays. I think you'll just see like a very standard granary rollout, probably maybe both scouts going for the double pistol maybe up top, just not really wanting to get too aggressive until I guess one of the teams makes a mistake.
Yeah, this is obviously a grand final, so we're going to have a lot of pressure on both teams, and neither team is going to really want to be the first one to make a mistake, especially with these half-hour games. No one really wants to be playing from behind so early into the game, especially on Granary as well, which is a map which is sometimes prone to stalemates, although the Pro update has kind of lessened that at least a bit. Still very difficult to push second from mid, push into courtyard.
Yeah, definitely. If you do have one of these sort of stalemating mids where there's not really any frags traded, and one team just decides to realize the war of attrition isn't going their way and just decides to back out while keeping most of their players, you will have that sort of... That's when you get those ridiculously long stalemates where you just hope your roamer can go... You just constantly sack your roamer in, hoping that he can maybe get a lucky rocket onto the med. But hopefully we won't be seeing too many stalemates. Hopefully we'll be seeing a pretty dynamic back and forth game.
Yeah. Well, generally you don't see like a huge amount of stalemates coming out from 8 players in Div 4 because that's what I love about them, that they really want to get things done. They don't want to sit around waiting for 10 minutes, waiting for the other team to make a mistake. They want to get in there, they want to force an Uber, they want to try to, get a frag or try to kill, bust in left side or something like that. And it's really exciting to see the ways that they're going to play, like in any specific situation. I think you have a great deal of unexpected things that could happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we probably will see a lot of that play as I hear one of these teams actually rating up. From what I know... Oh no, we are actually going live here, so I'll hold that thought as we go into our first mid here.
I'm going to watch... Oh, sorry. I'm going to watch Bono for this rollout.
Yep,
I'll watch the other demo.
Yeah, I'll be on Cruz as he gets the mid on about 50 HP.
Yeah. Bono's going to come in, he takes the health pack, he's actually beaten there, takes it really early sticky from Cruz. That's where he's forced out a bit. He's going to throw stickies up top, trying to put some damage onto the scouts. He's rotating around on the left. Quite an even mid so far because Pregame Tryhards haven't really managed to establish themselves. First frag goes the way of CJFX.
And another frag onto mid. So we do see the scouts here fairly growing, and they do manage to pick down Entropy, but the rest of Pregame Tryhards just crumbling around them. They stood absolutely no chance in that mid fight after their demo got annihilated.
Yeah, I just really think that they were in control for most of the mid. They took height, they got the first frag, they played as a team and got the second one as well. And then we've seen a 7-second delay on the heals for the Tryhard medic. But it's not really going to matter because you're going to see 100% Ubrad pushing in from the auRa team. There is a sniper actually. Ziff will probably be looking in through the left door. They should know he's there, and they'll probably have to Uber straight away. But they do actually lose Entropy.
But they are about to Uber in right now. Very aggressive Uber right onto the medic. First drag here. They get the demo as well. This should be easy cleanup. Zyve's forced back into spawn. They get Hyperion. Tons of cap time, and there we go. First round to auRa after a very clean Uber in.
Yeah, I really just feel like their defense was a bit rattled there because after they've got the sniper pick, they're kind of their first instinct isn't to back away. So they're sort of playing a bit more aggressively after they get a kill, and then they end up holding too far forward, get Ubered into. Anyway, I'm going to watch Shadow on this rollout. He's going to move on to Catwalk with his Lugamorph, trying to throw some pistols into the Tryhard demo.
Yeah, again, nothing but really empty spam trade at the moment. We do have a big bomb by Zoomodge coming into the combo. Does pick up 2, and Entropy gets another on Zyfe, but with 3-on-3, it's pretty even, although Zeegefox managed to get CK Lord and as well as Hyperion, and that is another pretty clean mid as Slam tries to hightail his way out of there to not be another casualty.
Yeah, I think that just came down to really sort of solid combo cleanup from auRa at the end there. CJFX obviously playing with his medic really tightly, just jumping away just as much as necessary, keeping himself on a nice leash and managing to clean up all the fleeing players. They should be able to get second for almost free here. A demo is trying to put them out. He wants to be careful that he doesn't get too far forward considering that they don't have control over top.
Yeah, and he actually is taken down, which is really unfortunate. There should be a queue for auRa to just come straight in. They will have a sniper and an Engie to contend with, but without a demo, you're losing a match with amount of Uber. And the Uber actually does come out here. No frags as of yet, and the center is actually doing quite a bit of work. We've got a scout finally able to focus it down, but no real frags as of yet. And it looks like Tryhard's probably going to get the better end of this defense as all of auRa is just crumbling. And there we go, we have a wipe. Yeah,
well that was really just a straight up beef on that push. They've They pushed in. Sure, there's an NG. Sure, there's a sniper. But if you have a demo down, you have full Uber advantage. Then you should really be winning that push. And the thing they didn't do there was I think they've been sort of a bit conditioned to always focus the demo.
Yeah.
And so they've looked for the demo, and he's already dead. And then they've been distracted by the sentry gun, lack of sort of focus calls, and they managed to kill nothing with the Uber. Then Kruz has respawned, and we've just seen it fall. Anyway,
Shadow
Shadow's
is in
going to try him
aggressively, but yeah, gets actually
Uber's
about
forced.
100 damage, and yeah, they force the Uber. I believe there's also a soldier behind Zumoj. He's just hiding in crate. Looks like he's going to jump in right now to block the scout. Actually misses it, does get mixed, and maybe we'll get the scout here if he hits a very clean rocket, but no, Morph does manage to take him down. Overall, very nice play. They lost a few players, but they did get that crucial force out.
And now, we just got to make sure Pregame Tryhards don't get too aggressive here. They should know how close auRa are to Uber. They should know if they get caught close here, that they're not going to be. And yes, they're backing up very sensibly, retreating
There's
to
a
mid,
scout on the
still
demo
in an
here,
awkward
very
position.
aggressive. Wow, Zyph just completely plus forward into the entire combo and managed to get a really nice demo pick. The Uber has come out here from red. They picked up Mix and Morph, but they back out as they're unable to even come close to the medic there.
Yeah, we do have a soldier behind. Zumoj just hiding in the drop-down room. And he's going to be looking to force. He needs to get this force here, or it should be just a clean round for Team Tryhard.
Yeah, but I believe he was just called out by Scout, so hopefully they can take care of him. Gets one rocket onto the medic, actually gets the demo instead, which will definitely delay their push to last.
Yep, we've got his heavy sitting up on pipe. 60% Uber for Evil Peanut. So he needs to be able to hold this for at least another sort of 16 to 24 seconds. And they're moving on to 80. It looks like they could get this unless Tryhard go right now, but it looks like that's what they're going to do. Taking in through right side. Uber should be on Hyperion. Yes, it is. 2 rockets into the heavy, but no deaths yet. Trying to take height. Damage going in now. Ziff goes down. Traded out for Mix. Hyperion gets taken down by Zumoj. And there's only 3 up now for auRa. 2 up, and they're very, very low.
Yeah, this fight could go either way, but it looks like in the end, Tryhard's just getting able to play slightly better off the limited heals they have and clean up auRa to tie the match up 1-1.
Yeah, it was a round that was definitely auRa's to lose. Tryhard showing some good play towards the end there, winning the aim duels on last. But it's important to note that neither team has really looked convincing in what they've done so far.
Ubers will be at least even, so it won't be a complete whitewash onto last. Although auRa look like they're quite aggressively want to hold second, they're not. They're deciding wisely not to pick out the lobby as Tryhards claim their ground there.
Ooh, almost. Ziv hits his shots there and could be down a scout for auRa. Probably trying to get a bit too aggressive on the left side in Z. They do have a 30% Uber advantage here because they're running the crits creep.
It's a crit.
They used crits and they kill absolutely nothing.
They can't even get the scout that's plus 4ing their medic. This is absolutely disastrous push. They pick up entropy, but Shadow just ends up avoiding all of those crit pipes and sickies, finish off the med. Ziegfeld and Zumoj actually clean up the rest of the thing. The demo goes down too. It's just Hyperion. Where is he? He's out in yard on about 11
He's
HP. Gets the force. Wow, that was a very nice shotgun in the end by Hyperion in a situation where Red really shouldn't have had to use that Uber there. So again, we have a saving grace. We also have a Zyph shot sniping from forward spawn.
Yeah, an important thing to note is that CK Lord, or CK God, or whatever he's called, has spawned Kritzkrieg, which means that they should be having around a 25% advantage, considering that both medics were roughly equal. If they use it very quickly, and not in the style they did last time, this could be really effective. Last time they tried to Kritzkrieg like with height disadvantage into players who could easily dodge it, like into the flank players, which is never really where you want to go with the Kritzkrieg. But anyway, they're moving on to 90%. They're going to be playing with this. They think they have ad. They know they have ad, and should be going in on Slam Funk from the left side.
And yeah,
the first sticky.
There is a soldier hiding above. Gets one rocket on the med and kills the medic, and Demo immediately will probably pick up their scout too. Shadow ends up finishing that off. We do have the flank of Tryhards all in the lobby, but with a sniper and 2 soldiers, probably can't achieve much. Although they are managing to get a decent amount of damage and at least slightly delaying auRa, but really, someone probably should have checked that spot as Hyperion dies on second point.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issues, not necessarily, like, they definitely had to check the spot, but they also had to sort of try and have some kind of distraction for their combo to go in there. Like, they really just tried to sort of, they would have seen their combo coming from a very long time away, and there was no distraction on Cat, there was no distraction. They could focus all their attention on the combo that's trying to push to that enclosed space.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you can see auRa Ubering in.
Yeah, they do come in here. I know people get frags, but they've got so much harm on the cap that it doesn't even matter that they didn't get a single frag in that Uber. Just stand on the cap point and you will win the round as they take a 2-1 lead. I think one of the other issues with that crits, mainly, as you said, with the distraction, but it's so hard with a sniper, like, at that point you really are just playing with one player down if he's just sitting back and unable to even get into mid, as we do go into this next mid here. Boner really low and takes another sticky from Kruz here. Decides to back out to death corner as the rest of his combo comes flooding in. No deaths as of yet, again, just spam being traded, although Tryhards do look like they're slightly taking the better end of this as Kruz kills himself with his own pipe.
Yep, we're going to see 4 up, 4 plays 3 here, but it looks like ZJFX takes down Hyperion, takes down Ziff. Now it's only 2 up for auRa and 2 up for Tryhards. It looks like Tryhard's going to be on the mid, and it's possible for auRa to re-enter here. Possible for them to fight Scout Demo, a Medic Demo versus Scout Demo, but it looks like they're just going to be content with backing off, sticking up second. They could have held Courtyard, but it looks like they don't want to, especially with the spawn disadvantage that they're now going to have because of the Tryhard forward spawns.
Yeah, I'm guessing just Boner wasn't confident enough, just in case that Scout of, I believe it was Morph, just decided to plus forward into them. We do have Tryhards peeking in lobby here, not really doing anything. Maybe it looks like they might want to peter into left, but the combo is moving, and yes, they are rotating around to left.
This is very optimistic. They get forced so early.
Although
Counterforce does come out. Mix is the first player to die. Looks like he might be the only one. They're going to have to fall back to second defender point. They take down Hyperion. They take down CK Lord, and that's really just what happens.
Yeah, that was a bit of an unfortunate. I don't actually know how they got forced. It just seemed there was only a single soldier there, not actually doing that much damage. Can you fill me on what happened?
Yeah, what happened was they tried to rush in really quickly into the left courtyard, but they were so obsessed with trying to move there quickly, so they just stood there as the roamer, I think it was, for auRa. That Zumoj just put in about 5 rockets into their medic and took him down so low that he eventually had to force.
Never what you want to see. But with auRa, with about a 45-50% Uberad, they are making their way right into second. They do have Zumoj taking a duel with Hyperion, getting Mick super lit in lobby there. Very lucky to make it out.
Nice rocket there from Mix to take down Shadow, but he does get traded out with his own full damage. They're in at last. Still no more frags in this Uber. ZJFX manages to create a Hyperion, but it looks like they are going to defend it. They get Uber to defend. Morph takes down 2. And they're going to be moving out to second, and the recap will start very shortly.
Yeah, Tryhards with a very nice defense of their last set. Oh, okay. Yeah, Tryhards with a very nice defense of the last set, and looks like most of auRa actually didn't quite get that new forward spot on Granary, so it was just Boner on mid by himself as Zyth leads the charge in. auRa does actually start to come around in Death Corner. This might be terrible timing. It is terrible timing as Mix gets some very nice rockets onto the combo there. Zyph and Morph clean up. Although Entropy coming in behind and just getting CK Lord out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really feels like at times the roamers on both teams are kind of dying a bit unnecessarily. Like at the end of that push there, it was very unlikely that he was going to be able to get another frag, but instead of sort of surviving to help them defend second, Zumoj just died on the point. But I think what's missing here is like a bit of a... With obviously the change to Grano, some teams are still a little bit sort of nervous around the spawn timings. And so sometimes you think that you can contest mid when in fact they're so quickly already that you can't really. Anyway, we've got a very interesting situation developing because Evil Peanut, I assume, is still on Uber.
Yep.
Where CK Lord is actually on crits. They're going to end up with Uber or crits at roughly the same time, which means we've actually got a very big problem here for Tryhard. They're going to have to use the crit sticky to kill the medic, which is something they haven't been able to do so far.
auRa is actually poking very aggressively. The crits comes in and gets a fantastic rocket to do so much damage. The Uber does come out, but it may not be enough. There was tons of damage, and oh, the medic actually did go down there, but it is a 4-on-3 here. Players scattered all around. More Entropy does manage to pick up more, and he managed to get mixed as well. But yes, there is a back cap. It looks like we might... It's actually the demo. He will meet a lot of resistance here on last and gets destroyed.
Anyway.
It was optimism.
Diff should get dueled here. There's two of them, surely. Yep. He's gonna take him down. CK Lord, he's on crits again.
What do you feel of this really aggressive crits play as his pocket of Hyperion actually gets demolished?
Well, I think crits is good when you have what would have been even Ubers, which means that you have sort of a 25-20% window to use the crits Krieg. But when the opposition medic is spawning first, so you actually end up with roughly the same percent, then you need to hit a clutch sticky or a clutch rocket to take down the medic. Because it doesn't matter how much damage you do sort of with the crits, or if you get like one frag even. If you're playing so aggressively, you can get taken down. Anyway, we have Uber used out, but they haven't used this crits Krieg, which means they can use it back into second. They've got their demo there, they crits in, they get Bono taken down, but that's all they're going to get so far. Scout should be taken down here, Zumoj gets mixed, but now the re-entry comes in. And, oh, still not enough. Nice pipe there from Slam Funk to finish it. But that was very messy there at the end. That could have gone both ways, just depending on whether or not people hit their shots. And it was really made harder than it needed to be by Tryhard.
Lots of these fights have been incredibly messy. Zai getting a nice bit of time on mid there, but just the stickers of Bono forcing him away. auRa are very clumped up here in Garage, and wisely decide to back off as they realize that all of Tryhard will be in mid right now. Ubers are relatively even, so this might be one of our first... Oh wait, no, of course, because we still have the crits in play here, so it'll be a matter of seeing if Slam can actually get this sticky that he's been not quite hitting so far.
Yeah, so, and the trouble is that they know they're running, what's effectively now perma-crits. Like, they know it's coming.
Yeah, definitely. It's just decides to play. And auRa, knowing
it's so close.
Yeah, I think it's they just want to try to force the issue with Tryhards and really take it to them. They'll say, well, if you want to use crits, we'll just Uber straight into you. But again, they're very risky, because if your flank just collapses, they decide to focus your flank and it collapses, even if your combo's Ubered, they can just wrap straight around you. But yeah, it looks like they've held back to being defensive. Zumoj is hiding in this little alcove here, so he's sort of expecting them to crit through Garage and just sort of get another couple sneaky rockets onto the med like he has these past few times.
Yeah. And I think this is where stalemates will start to develop, because Tryhards are down in rounds, they need to push this, but this is one of the hardest points to push in TF2 at the moment.
Hyperion getting very...
It's crits versus Uber.
Yeah, Hyperion looks like he almost wanted to take the crits. They had a really nice angle on the medic, but I'm not sure if it was a bit of disconnect between him and the medic, or them just not wanting to risk it. The crits is in! The
Uber's forced in return, and the CK Lord goes down, Hyperion goes down, and they're all just going to have to run away. And surely when he spawns, he's going to be off crits.
You would certainly hope so. This really isn't looking so far. We do have Zyph and Mix, but they end up only managed to get one kill before both of them going down themselves.
Yeah, and we are back to Uber.
we are back to, but I've realized that maybe running permacrits isn't the best idea, as auRa with about 25% Uberad get this middle point, and looks like they're wanting to push left with just Medic and Soldier. No other real players as they do start to rotate.
Soldiers in forward spawn.
Zumach is hiding on like 1 HP underneath forward spawn. Very lucky to survive. Jumps over the sticky and gets obliterated.
Yep, that was a really... They tried to push that too quickly and it managed to muck up for them just because they didn't clear it as a team. They do get 2 flank frags, and this is very interesting because once they get top here, another on the point, Shadowell's on the point, ZejoFX is sitting up top. They can't... Tryhards can't really push, even with this big Uberad. All ZejoFX has to do now is be really annoying and just make sure that he wastes as much time as possible to try and get his team closer to Uber. This is good, he's showing that he's behind. He's going to throw a few spam rockets.
Slam
he might now get out to drop down.
Yeah, Slam decides to try to cut him off, and the Scouts goes here as well. This could end really badly, but they do manage to pick him up. But that bought so much time from his team, from practically a full 100% Uber advantage to only about 40% here. As auRa actually grinding really hard, and but it still won't be enough as...
Oh! From Boner, they take it down, and now it's 3 down! What's going to do? Ziff, 4 down! They're only 2 up! Oh, that's such a big play! That pipe just catching out CK Lord. Not a lot he could do there. He's taken 50 from the sticky and then 100 from the pipe. I suppose he's just got to be aware of the possibility of that happening, but yeah, unfortunate, and they just all died.
Yeah, when things were starting to look like they were looking up from Tryhards, something like that happens, as they do set up another sniper NG defense on last here. Hyperion's going to get caught out, which is a bit of a misplay, so they should use this advantage to just go in. And they're probably going to pick up Slam very early, as he does sticky jump out. Managed to get himself up onto top pipe, and so it's relatively free from almost all damage, as Boner takes a massive headshot. The sentry gun is down, but
they're going to hold this.
They probably are. Shadow goes down, Zype, there's so much time on the point. They're all collapsing on it. Cruz managed to get stickies there just in time. And again, another really clutch defense there from Tryhards at the face of what seems to be total defeat.
Yeah, it's only thing I mentioned that Ziff at the start of that push took down Boner. So he took down the red demo, and that was such a big play. Because if the demo's there, if he's there to clean up frags, put his own stickies on the point, I guarantee auRa wins that round. Because he makes that shot, like you're running a risk by playing a sniper on last there. On that occasion it's paid off and they managed to hold. Trouble is for me is with auRa is they're just not getting kills with their
too much on the combo here.
They force you, but they drop both players.
Yes.
Scouts going to come in and look to clean up. Boner getting focused down by both Scouts and the Roma. Let's get taken down together with Zumosh, but Entropy trades the frag back onto Ziff. They need to group up together now and play on the point. ZejoFX gets taken down, just 1 up for Tryhards.
Again, that was Zumoj hiding in the exact same space above the left entrance to mid there, and just doing the exact same thing with the crits before, where he just comes down onto the combo. He didn't get the medic this time, but he got the force as well as 2 frags, so that's more than enough. As again, this gives auRa another massive Uberad to push last, as we see Zyfe yet again spawning sniper and missing a really, what could have been clutch shot there onto Evil Peanut.
Yep, that ended up being what we call like an empty pop, where he kills all the players you're trying to pop on, and then the only thing left is the Uber medic.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of the Scout and Soldier deciding to go aggressive with that Uber and just trying to keep pushing it in with the rest of their team dead. I think it would have been better for after they got that Soldier frag to just hightail it out of there. But Zyfe actually gets taken down after he gets a body shot earlier onto Shadow, so we're seeing a bit of a stalemate here.
Yeah, and so we're going to see auRa, then looks like they're not going to go in top, but I think they're gearing up for a top push. They got the Soldier there, Demo's there.
It's worth pushing up. They're now pushing up with a heavy.
Oh, it's going to be this push. This is an old one. You either lead on the heavy, or you push out with your combo, and then in the post Uber, your heavy comes out top, and it's so hard to get him off that pipe with 450 health.
Yeah, I don't think he's even been called. They probably would have just heard the voice line then, maybe, but I think at this moment he's still like a relatively unknown factor here. as auRa just sort of peeking out these doors, seeing if they can bait someone into them. We do have Mix hiding up top, hoping to maybe get a cheeky frag if on the medic as he decides to push this, but auRa just so patiently waiting here.
Yeah. Well, like we've been saying, they've got 6 minutes left. They don't have to push. Obviously, it'd be nice to see them push, but they don't want to take any risk, which might lead to Tryhards getting back in this game and back in this map and back in this final. They're going to be perfectly happy to sit here while Tryhard builds sentries, while they run their sniper.
They are getting very aggressive here. Mixing all of his rockets, finally gets the last one to Zedrods as Zedro, I'm not sure how to say his name, sorry, as they do decide to slightly peek, but again, Pregame Tryhards.
They're coming in.
Wow.
Hyperion jumps up top. Entropy's down, Zumod is down, and the Uber is popped from both teams here.
The demo
We're going to see the demo going to last,
behind,
but there's a sentry there. He's going to get annihilated.
Still surviving on 2 HP and gets very taken out. The heavy though coming out, getting the medic. Probably will get taken out here, but again, auRa's medic surviving, where CK Lord once again drops in a very messy fight there.
They don't want to get too close here. They don't want to get caught out of position by a sudden rush. And it looks like they're playing the smart option, backing out to mid. He doesn't need to go on that low, but it looks like he wants to. And we're going to see 30% Uber out on auRa again.
Yeah,
and so like I've been saying, this is where the clock starts to suddenly become an issue, because if they keep playing at this disadvantage, if they keep, trading Ubers but staying on their own side of the map, Tryhards aren't going to be able to win the round they need.
Yeah, definitely. There's only 4.5 minutes left on the clock. They do look like they're kind of tempted to peek onto this left side here. They've got
such a Uber disadvantage. They can't do this. The
soldier jumps around against the medic and gets a wonderful shotgun to take out.
That was so clutch. Whoever them managing to kill those soldiers there.
Very
those soldiers stay alive. Oh, it's probably game over right now. But
yeah.
Either way, it still looks like it's going to come out quite well for auRa here.
We do have Mixed hiding up top, and we're really relying on him to come in the medical play. No, he had a chance to drop on them below, but decides to take the safer option of hanging back on pipe, as they do actually get a fair bit of damage onto auRa, at least forcing them back for now.
Yeah, and Ubers should equalize here.
Yeah,
Tryhards can't push, they're down a demo, and auRa are really not going to want to push a player down, even with the demo advantage. If I were them, I'd probably have a util, maybe a spy, because you've got to bank on the fact that the Tryhards are setting up for a last defense. And so we've just seen Ziff change from sniper to scout, which indicates that they know they need to be aggressive here, and they want to be fully prepared for a repush if and when they push in. They've got the crits. This is going to be popped out top, but CK Lord gets taken down straight away. Peanut is going to be moving in. Entropy should work together with Shadow to take down Ziff, and now they're moving into last. Shadow putting the damage in here onto Mixed. Does get taken down.
But yeah, this should be another easy round win for auRa, making it 3-1. Yeah, the onus was entirely onto Tryhards to try to come out and try to equalize the game here, but yeah, just CK Lord getting completely annihilated the moment he pops that crits.
Yeah, and what we saw was understandable from the Tryhards, because they've used that crits. They knew they needed something. They needed their medic to be up top and for Hyperion to come through and get a crit rocket onto the medic. That's what they needed. It didn't happen that way, and they've lost the round, but at least they recognised they needed a big play. Although Zumod with a fat air shot onto this blue Roma absolutely destroys Mixed. Huge. We're going to see him jumping forward.
Yeah, the dying seconds of the game. auRa just kind of showing that dominance. Zype gets a very nice 1v1 pick onto an Entropy. Gets Zumod. Probably going to get the medic here too if he can hit his pistols. Does. This is a 4k this mid from Zype shot. Goes for the Boston. Very optimistic Boston Basher. Gets taken out. Shadow finishes off Hyperion. I think... Yeah, Tryhard's looking good off the very start of the mid, but again, it just trailed away almost instantly.
Yeah. I think there's not a lot of really coordinated mid plays happening out of both teams. What I'm seeing from auRa is really just like DM fights. And we had some crazy shots get hit by Zumoj, like really impressive from him. But at the same time, like if you do that to one of the other opposition soldiers, you really expect to to have other people follow it up straight away, which didn't happen. We had like a delay, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, again, yeah, that's sort of been sort of the story of this whole game. It's been very messy, and like certain players are doing tons of work, but aside from a very few clutch moments, there's been very little follow-up from either of the teams. Hopefully we're going to see a bit of a change on that on this next map, but we still have a minute left to go on Granary, but it's pretty much dead time at this point.
I think Tryhards are still going to want the round. They want the confidence going into the next map. And they have got 100% crit screen, so it looks like they're going to be using it out onto Hyperion here. So they drop the demo on a scout. They
get the medic as well.
Two of the rocket needs a big shotguns coming out here, but it doesn't get at them. Entropy manages to take down the med with the pistol. Hyperion to go down last, and that's pretty much GG.
Yep, GG. It would have been nice to see that. I'm not a fan of where they crit. We do have a back cap here, but no.
He's gonna try and block. He's gonna try and block. Oh, he doesn't quite get there.
Yeah, and that's definitely no chance Tryhards being able to get around there. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of where Tryhards popped their crits from. I would have liked if they maybe at least moved up onto the ramp to at least see out of window to get a nice little spam shot. So I shot going for a very sort of clutch headshot here as there we go, time ticks down, and we have auRa taking this first map 3-1 over Pregame Tryhards.
Yeah, that was an interesting map. It didn't feel like either team was really in control, and auRa definitely weren't sort of really clean, especially on their last pushes. We saw some really clutch holds from the Tryhards. But I felt like they did pull it together when it mattered most. And whenever they needed sort of to win a push, auRa managed to get the better of the DM fights. And also I think they played a bit smarter than the Tryhards did, to be honest. I think crits is like, it's a notoriously difficult mechanic to use. Like there are a lot of Prem teams who never ever just don't touch it, just because they feel like you need to practice it a lot, you need to have worked through it, and if you haven't, then basically you can just end up dying very easily.
Yeah, and that's really what we saw. Every time Tryhards try to pop a crit, you just had either Zedge or FX or Zumod just drop down almost immediately and clean up pretty much CK Lord after only like one crit shot had been fired.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull up stats here.
I've got them here. The top fragger for that map was Zumod, who got 31 frags. That's the Roma for auRa. Not something you usually see. Also did 7,000 damage, so that's reasonable to quite good. The top damage, in fact, was Hyperion from Tryhards by more than 1,000 actually, and that was with even like slightly less heals than Zedge FX. So it was a good half from him. I think a lot of that damage will be buffed because of how many crit rockets he was hitting. But again, it tells you like how much damage didn't really tell the story. Zumoj having 31 frags is a really big deal, because often you'll expect roamers to not get anywhere near that many, because they're going for forces, they're going for plays, they might not always pull off. But he actually just, him and Shadow together, Shadow on 25 frags and Entropy on 25 frags again, they really worked together very, very well to make sure that the flank was locked down for the whole game. And so that was really impressive from them.
Yeah, definitely. One stat I really want to point out, despite being a 3-1 game, CK Lord had 10 more deaths than Evil Peanut. Part of that was due to almost every crits they had. He would drop instantly, but still, that's a pretty big gap between, I guess, just showing how different the survivability and how tight-knit both these teams play around their meds. If Tryhards really want to try to take this map, they've got to give CK Lord a lot more support into these fights and not let him just get picked off by flank players as he has been.
Yeah, 18 deaths is never it's never really what you want. Even like there are 5-0 stomps where you don't die 18 times, or the probably 5-0 stomps where you die 5 times, but like you don't really want to be dying any more than sort of 13 or 14 in a map, even if you lose it, especially in a 3-1 game. That's a very notable statistic. So what I'd say if I were talking to Tryhards at this halftime, I'd say, like, we don't use crits ever. Like, we're done with crits. That doesn't work. What we're going to do is we're going to play sort of really tight. We're going to give our demo more heals. To be honest, I'd tell him to get off the Quickie Bomb launcher, but I won't.
Um,
So I'd just try and tell them to play close, play tight. If they want to win, they need to change the sort of the structure of their combo. They can't have their demo roam as much. They need all their players to be sticking together. So it'll be interesting to see how both teams play their roamers on this map. Judging by what Hyperion did on the last map, I'd expect him to be still fairly traditional. It looks like Zedro FX will be shotgun as well. Possible for people to be running, double gunboats on both sides.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, this is mid where I actually really like double gunboats just due to the sort of layout of it. I think, and just because in a way, Gully Watch is sort of a very small map, in the sense that it sort of zigzags from last point to last point. So I prefer playing definitely around scouts and giving both soldiers the option to sort of roam a bit more, take a bit less heals away from the scouts and demo. And I feel like if Tryhards try to adopt that strategy, I'm not sure if they will, I really feel like it could go out in their favor. It could be the sort of change of playstyle they need to like get this game back into thing, because if they lose this map, they're second place. Like, this is do or die at this point.
Yeah, I really feel like they need to change something, and I think double gunboats is an excellent solution for what this is, because it allows both of your soldiers to jump, it allows them to take more position, it allows them to basically just be more effective on mid, I feel. Anyway.
Yeah, we're actually the first mid here.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Boner. He's going very slow. He's pretty much walked to mid. He's only seen jump once, and as such, he's going to be quite late. Takes 50 damage.
With a big bomb here onto the demo, completely forcing him out of choke. Get Zyke, gets shut down immediately. We've got another soldier onto the medic here of Evil Peanut, and Mix just managed to get the rocket right at the end, but it looks like CK Lord is going to hightail it out of there with Morph. It's Hyperion sort of just, I think he's baiting his team and drop down at the moment, as Zedfox comes in and cleans up the medic and the scout with about 9 HP remaining.
CK Lord notable on about 200 ping at the moment, and I saw him sort of lagging around.
Okay, yeah, that was definitely a contributing factor. Yeah, it all looked like it was going well for Tryhards at the start of that mid. Like, they did have a fair few down, but like they managed to pick up the heals of auRa, and they got some really decent frags early on, but just it crumbled as Zedfox managed to get onto the medic and scout here. So much actually gets taken down here. Zedfox trades with Morph. I'd like to see Tryhards sort of get into the combo here. Just managed to walk in for free, but they are deciding to back out of mid here. So nice little cleanup there from Tryhards, sort of bottling up that aggression that auRa were trying to get on them and just forcing them all the way back to the other side of mid at the moment.
Yeah, and we do see a slight uber advantage for Team Tryhards. And if I were them, I'd be pushing big door at the moment, because they know there's not many people there. But it looks like they're going to be content to wait it out. And this is probably fair. Ubers are reasonably close. It's the grand final. They don't want to make any mistakes. They'll probably be looking to stack a player or try and get some damage in on the flank players. Hyperion getting a buff. Looks like he's going to be trying to get in big door. Gets caught out.
Yeah, Zumoj was sort of hiding up on that little edge here.
Yeah, that's a very common spot.
Yeah, auRa looking like they want to get aggressive on this. Get the force out around the same time, but they might have to multi on their players. Actually, it's just a simple